That's because I'm not. Well, technically I am, but actually I'm a bladesmith. And while we talk about it on today's Wood Stove Chat episode, I'm going to take this billet, clean it up, and cut it up into 35-degree tiles. Right now the pattern is on the end of the billet, and we want it on the side. After tiling it, I'll forge weld it, draw it out, then we'll look at the pattern. So I get this comment all of the time: you don't look like a bladesmith. And I've gotten this comment more times than I can count. Now, usually it's not meant as an insult. Most people are really surprised. But every time I hear it, I can't help but wonder, what exactly is a bladesmith or blacksmith supposed to look like? Now, this video is not meant to insult or belittle anyone. It's just a comment I get every now and then, and I just got it recently by someone I thought it'd be fun to address. So I hope you enjoy this. Don't take it the wrong way. It's all fun. Am I supposed to have a beard down my chest? Maybe tattooed from head to toe with dragons and flames? A nose ring? Ear loops? Maybe I should look like I just walked off of a reality TV show. The funny thing is, I'm not even technically a blacksmith. I'm a bladesmith. Although, if we're being honest, bladesmithing is a branch of blacksmithing, so I guess the title still fits. But it got me to thinking about where this idea comes from, that blacksmiths are supposed to look a certain way. And the more I thought about it, the more I realized that some of the greatest craftsmen I've ever known didn't fit the image at all, including my father. Most people have never met a blacksmith. Think about it. They've seen one on television, they've watched videos online, they've seen movies, they've seen reality competitions, but they've never actually spent time around a working smith. So naturally, the image they build in their head comes from entertainment. And entertainment loves stereotypes. The rugged mountain man, the giant beard, the tattoos, the biker Viking look, the guy who looks like he wrestles bears before breakfast but runs out of breath in 8 seconds. Now, don't get me wrong, there are blacksmiths who look exactly like that, and that's perfectly fine. But somewhere along the way, people started confusing the image with the craft, as if looking the part somehow makes you better at it. The reality is that steel doesn't care what you look like. The hammer doesn't care. The forge doesn't care. The metal don't care whether you have tattoos, a mohawk, ear loops, or a three-piece suit. It only responds to skill. That's it. I think television deserves some of the credit for creating this image. Shows need characters. Characters need recognizable identities, so producers naturally gravitate toward people who visually fit what audience already expect. If you're making a blacksmith competition show, who gets noticed first? The guy with the giant beard and nasty leather apron? It's visual storytelling. There's nothing wrong with that. The problem comes when viewers start believing that's what a blacksmith or what all blacksmiths look like. Imagine if every accountant on television looked exactly the same, or every fisherman or every carpenter. Well, they kind of do, but we'd recognize pretty quickly how ridiculous that is. I think so. But for some reason, when it comes to blacksmithing, we've allowed this one image to become the standard. And honestly, blacksmithing has always been far more diverse than people realize. Historically, blacksmiths were some of the most important craftsmen in the community. They made tools, hardware, farm equipment, horseshoes, repairs, made weapons, almost everything society depended on, and they most likely didn't have any lineage that tied into Scandinavia or famous Viking. They weren't entertainers, they were tradesmen. They looked like ordinary people because they were ordinary people. Now, there's probably some outliers out there, but you know what I'm saying. When I think of blacksmithing, I think about my father. And my father was the best blacksmith that I ever seen. Not because he won competitions or was famous, not because he was popular on social media, but because he could make things. And he understood metal, he understood tools, he understood how to solve problems. He knew how to move and shape hot steel and iron. And that's what blacksmithing really is. It's problem solving. It's craftsmanship. It's experience. My father didn't look like what social media would probably call a blacksmith today. He didn't have the image, but he had the skill. And if given the choice between someone who looks like a blacksmith and someone who can actually do the work, I'll take the craftsman every time. Because at the end of the day, the work speaks louder than appearances ever will. I think social media has amplified this even more. Today, everyone has a personal brand, and certain images perform better than others. The dramatic beard, long flowing hair, putting a ball on top of the head like an exotic samurai sword maker, sparks flying, gritty workshop, a larger than life personality. Those things get attention. And again, there's nothing wrong with that, but sometimes presentation becomes more important than the craft itself. People begin associating appearance with ability. The reality is that some of the best smiths in the world probably wouldn't stand out in a crowd. You could pass them in a grocery store and never know they are, because skill isn't always visible. Experience isn't always visible. Knowledge isn't always visible, but it's there. And that's what matters. So what makes a blacksmith? Is it the bushy, long, unkempt beard? No. The flaming barbed wire tattoo? No. The filthy leather apron? No. The social media following? Definitely not. A blacksmith is someone who understands hot steel, someone who can shape it, someone who can take raw material and create something useful. That's what the craft has always been, and that's what it will always be. Everything else is just appearance. And look, we got this billet done. This will be a folder billet. Got some weld inclusion on the sides here. And what I'll do is grind that out and then draw it out a little more to the final size and dimension for the folder blades. The other billet here is going to be a couple, maybe buoys, something like that. But anyway, got them done. So the next time somebody tells me I don't look like a blacksmith, I'll probably smile, because maybe they're right. Maybe I don't look like the version television created. Maybe I don't fit the stereotype. But that's okay. My father didn't either, and he taught me something very important. The value of a craftsman isn't found in how he looked. It's found in what he could build. And I think that's a lesson worth remembering. If you've ever been told you don't look like what people expected, let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear your story. And until next time, we'll see you out in the shop.